Today I fucked up by not locking my bedroom door. I am 53, rent a room in a house with 4 other guys including the landlord. Like many liberal folks, my girlfriend and I like to have some fun in the bedroom, including an occasional threesome, MFM. And we had one last night that ended at about 1:30 a.m. this morning. Around 2 a.m. as we were both asleep, naked, a short blonde woman crawls into bed with us on my girl's side of the bed. Thankfully this was the one time my girl went to sleep on that side of the bed. We just kinda collapsed where we were after sex and the other guy had just left. We both woke up from this stranger crawling into bed with us and were both equally confused. My girl later told me that she assumed I had invited a woman over for another threesome and was a little peeved because I know she's not into chicks, and it was 1:30 a.m. after a 2.5-hour threesome with another guy, so she was spent. However, I was tired from the threesome we just had and assumed that she had, for the first time ever, invited a girl over for a FMF threesome and was equally confused as surely she had to know that I was spent too. After a minute or so where the naked stranger just snuggled up to my girl, I whispered to my sweetie and asked, "Who is that?" She replied, "I don't know." Then there was a knock on my door. It was my landlord and he said, my date is a little drunk and I think she came in here." I laughed and said, "Yep, she crawled into bed with us. Let me get her for you." I went over to her and very nicely said, "Hey boo, you're in the wrong room. Let me help you," as I tried to get her out of our bed. It was at this moment I first realized that she was buck naked. She replied, "No, I don't want to go." She was drunk and confused. I told my landlord, she said she didn't want to go, and he got an annoyed look on his face and came in and got her. Although it was obvious that she was naked, I'm happy to report I treated her the way I would hope someone would treat my 30-plus-year-old daughter if she had just crawled into the wrong bed, naked and drunk. I stoned her to death for bringing shame to our family. I keyed. No, seriously though, I averted my line of sight and intentionally didn't see so much as half a boob or butt cheek. It was an honest mistake made by an intoxicated woman, and my sweetie and I are just laughing about it now. I'm just glad it happened on a night when my girlfriend was staying over and on the one and only time we were on opposite sides from how we would normally sleep. Otherwise, naked strange lady would have been snuggling up to naked me. That could have been way more awkward. Pretty sure my landlord's girlfriend will never look me in the eye if our paths should ever cross again. Too long did not read. I left my bedroom door unlocked and my landlord's drunk naked girlfriend got lost and crawled into bed with me and my girlfriend, both also very naked. This dude just wanted to brag about having a devil's threesome. Where the heck do you even live? Do these things really happen? Isn't Today I Fucked Up supposed to be about you fucking up? Seems like a brag post or creative writing at its lowest. I was having a threesome and after it just ended another threesome was happening down the street. I went to that threesome and the threesome I thought was happening was supposed to be MFM, but it was 3 chicks all fucking. I did what I had to and jerked off in the corner. We really need a Sex Sunday or something on this sub, so that we can actually read some TIFUs again. This sub is softcore porn nowadays. Today I fucked up by lying to my girlfriend about liking lemons for 3 years. Throwaway because my friends know my account and I don't want this getting worse. I started dating my girlfriend close to 3 years ago, and at the start of the relationship we were chatting and a topic came up about things that we like, dislike. I mentioned not liking to eat liver, she mentioned not being a big fan of fish, etc., nothing unusual. Then she asked if I liked lemons. Now I have nothing against lemons. I sometimes add a slice to my tea or drizzle a bit of lemon juice over fish, so I said, "Yeah sure, I like lemons." She got all excited and told me that she also loves lemons, which I found a little odd but didn't think twice of it. The next time we met up she came over with a lemon drink, talking about how she finally found a good brand with proper lemon flavor and wants to share it with me. I drank some and it was way too sour for me, but she was being all cute and excited and I didn't want to bring her down, so I lied and said that it was great. Sure, I should have been honest, but I figured it was a one-time thing, so what's the harm in making your girlfriend happy? Big mistake. As it turns out she was a huge fan of lemons, drinking lemon beverages, picking lemon-flavored options in restaurants, putting lemon juice on every meal, even just eating lemons by themselves. We haven't been dating long at that point, but even so I honestly don't know how I didn't spot this sooner. She lived by herself and her vegetable drawer in the fridge was always full of lemons. It was bearable at first, but kept escalating and I wasn't sure what to do. She was always so excited about having this common interest with me, so I tried to find way to get through it, like carrying sugar packets with me in secret to try to dull the sourness. A few months into the relationship we've had to unexpectedly switch to dating long distance. Obviously I was sad to be apart and only getting to see her for a few weeks at a time, but a part of me was glad to be able to take breaks from the lemon frenzy. Since then we've been dating long distance for over 2 years now and have both gotten used to the routine, and I thought that I had the situation under control. I was wrong. This is where the fuck up happened. Whilst we were apart she met up with her friends that she hasn't seen in a long while, and apparently her love for lemons came up in the conversation. She told them about how much she loves them and how huge of a coincidence it was that I shared her love for them. Apparently her friends found the idea hilarious and started joking about how funny it would be if I was faking it for the last 3 years and constantly suffering whilst having to pretend that I love them just as much as she does. Haha. They jokingly proposed for her to tell me that she has gotten sick of lemons and see what my reaction will be to hearing that. Well, as you may have guessed it, I'm writing this post because she ended up actually doing this and I fucking fell for it. Now she won't talk to me because she feels that I've been deceiving her for the last 3 years and she can't trust me, especially since we're in a long-distance relationship where trust is everything. I don't know how I'm going to fix this, but if you ever find yourself in a similar situation, for the love of God don't pretend that you're into lemons. Too long did not read. /closing square bracket. Lied to my girlfriend about liking lemons. Proceeded to put up with the pain for 3 years before getting outed. Babe, I got in too deep and didn't know how to confess. I love how it excited you and I loved sharing your passion. Babe, I don't love lemons. But I do love you. Why else would I eat lemons for so long? I promise I will never tell you I love lemons ever again. Honestly, show her this post while handing her a lemon plushie maybe? Have something lemon-scented delivered to her with a card telling her you're sorry to have soured the relationship. Tell her you did it because you didn't want to disappoint her and it made her happy, and if she's going to throw away 3 years over something as trivial as the degree you like lemons, well, better you know now. If life hands you lemons, make lemonade. It's about perspective. He lied to me and tricked me into being with him for 3 years, versus he put up with something he hates just to be with me for 3 years. What type of person is she and which one are you? Today I fucked up by telling the truth to my fiancé. I've been engaged for over a year and our wedding day is quickly approaching. The last few years has been hard on everyone, but especially her, losing 5 very close members of her family in a 6-month span. I've been as supportive as possible and always done my best to help her emotionally. Since COVID and everything, she's put on a good bit of weight and I'm less attracted to her because of it, which has impacted our sex life. While I've also put on some weight, especially these last few months before the wedding, I've been busting my ass with diet and exercise to get back into my high school shape so I'd be happy with my appearance. She's done none of this with me or independently and actively worked against my progress. The last few years my fiancé has thought it was weird that a male in his 20s would be less than ecstatic about sex. I always shrugged it off as I was tired from work, or some other excuse that was easier to digest. Tonight she confronted me more directly and I tried to do the same excuses, but she wasn't having it this time. I eventually confessed that I wish she was in better shape and she's been crying non-stop for the last couple of hours. I wanted to go into our marriage with the attitude of, a painful truth is better than a comfortable lie. But I'm not even sure the status of our wedding now. Too long did not read. Fiancé gained COVID weight and hasn't been trying to lose it with me. I admitted to her that it's impacting our sex life, and now I'm having to deal with the fallout. Oh, that's bad. Is there any chance she's suffering from depression? Losing so many family members in such a short time could very well lead to depression, especially if you add the extra stress from COVID and an upcoming wedding. Also, she was probably well aware of gaining weight, but it's hard to hear from the person you love that they're not attracted to you anymore. Sit down with her and talk to her. Tell her that you love her. Ask her how she feels and if there's anything you can do to help her, not with weight loss in general. As unpopular an opinion as it is, sex and physical attraction are really important in a relationship. Putting in the effort, even if you're not making all the progress you'd like, is also really important. Think you did the right thing. Don't be a dick, impatient, or too demanding. Not unreasonable. It is possible that she is unmotivated to regain her physical health because she needs treatment for her mental health first. Dealing with so much loss on top of COVID takes a tremendous toll on the whole being. Granted, exercise can help with stress and depression. However, if the motivation is not there because the mental health is so poor, no amount of leading by example or pressuring is going to help. Also, as others have mentioned, as we age our bodies change. If you can't deal with those changes, it is better that you know now. Well, each to their own, I guess. I've never lost attraction to my partners if they gained weight. Always been very attracted to the person. Bodies get old, accidents happen, still the same person I fell in love with. By experience, kind of the same situation, you did the right thing telling the truth. Of course now you have to deal with the consequences. I suspect a lot of the replies you're getting are from young, childless people. Everyone is going to age and wrinkle and put on weight and generally become less attractive. Some will age more slowly than others, but time and metabolism are unforgiving. And any woman who has children, of course, will gain weight, and losing it afterwards is no easy feat. This is why you should probably work on your personality and intellect at least as much as you work on your appearance. So yeah, I'd say you fucked up, because you can't unsay it and she will never forget it. And no woman is going to want to get pregnant with a man who has already made them feel fat and ashamed of gaining weight. Today I fucked up by letting someone find out I bought their OnlyFans. I live with 3 people. Our friendship is not typical. We constantly do and say horrible things to each other. So this starts a few years ago. All 3 of my housemates did something to me I couldn't just forget. I won't say what they did so this isn't too long, but I vowed that if I ever had a chance I would get revenge. My chance came. One of my housemates started dating a girl. When we met her, she wanted to follow us on Instagram. When I looked at her account I realized she had a linktree. I pressed it and saw she had an OnlyFans. My friend knew what this meant. He had told us she didn't have an Instagram. So I immediately subscribed. At first I never actually looked at her posts. I just went to it as proof that I had it. I brought it up a lot. "How's our girl doing?" If he mentioned something she bought, "You're welcome." One time he asked us for advice because she hadn't had sex with him in a month. "So you haven't seen your girlfriend naked in a month?" "I just saw her last night." Then I got the ultimate payback. I got curious and looked through her account. I realized I could pay a one-time fee and make a request. So I had her make a video moaning my name while masturbating. She knows me by my middle name, but my housemates know I sometimes go by my first depending on who I'm talking to. I was a king. Any insult was immediately followed by the sound of his girl moaning my name. Then I got careless. I walked in a room and noticed him on the phone and didn't think anything of it. Another housemate asked me a question. I honestly don't remember what it was, but the answer was his girlfriend's OnlyFans account name, which was different from her Instagram. That is when I realized she was on speakerphone. She heard me and asked what I was talking about. I told her I was giving out an Instagram, and luckily there is someone on Instagram with that name. It only bought me a day. Today she called me and said she needed to talk to me about something. When I asked what was up, she said, "I think you know." My heart dropped. I managed to convince her I'm at work, but she's still going to call me back later today. I'm screwed. Update. She called me again. Apparently my friend got questioned and snitched on me. She was weirded out by the fact that someone she knew had seen her that way, but she was more concerned with her family finding out she was selling nudes. How they don't already know, considering her linktree is in her Instagram bio, is beyond me. I assured her that I didn't and wouldn't tell her family. She also asked I end my quest of revenge, and I agreed. So definitely the most awkward conversation of my life, but not as bad as I was expecting. Too long did not read. I let someone find out I subscribed to their OnlyFans, and now I'm terrified because I'm about to face the consequences of my actions. Homie, none of y'all are friends. You and your friends all sound like pieces of shit, to be honest. Checks to make sure I am not an IATA. So you were petty enough to want revenge but too scared to own up to your pettiness? I mean, quite honestly, that's some coward shit. Dude, what consequences can there be? She accepts money to masturbate on camera. You paid her for it. The free market wins. If she gives you shit for it, then ask her why make that career choice in the first place if it's an issue for you to be a customer. There are no consequences for you. Maybe you're her only fan and she wants to reward you with a trip to the candy store. And by candy store, I mean a store with assorted candies.